Okay, this will be the last one for the night, and I'll try to put in here anything I didn't think about. I've almost got it all for the players. I've done a lot of space campaign tries, as a lot of my friends know, and have finally figured out the problem of what it runs into. There are many different problems one faces just making a normal role-playing campaign on an Earth-like setting. When an elf in D&D goes out with his bow and arrow, the character knows that he can breathe. The character knows that he's on ground. The character knows that there's probably going to be wheat in the field. There's food, there's towns. All of these things are Earth-like. There's a lot of variations that we can do with Earth-like environments, but in general there are some basic things. Oxygen, earth, water, sky, sun, moon, usually. Usually humanoid life forms that are congregate into villages, cities, towns. But when you go to a space campaign, all that is all subject to change. Hydrocarbon planets, volcanic planets, asteroids, gas planets, radiation, huge nebula clouds, ice planets, the pressures that are so much different. Pressures so hard that they can compress hydrogen and oxygen into solid objects. That's disgusting if anybody knows the math and science of that. Okay. The gravity, the radiation, the different weather effects, what the land would look like, what it would feel like, how things would work. All of that has to be determined wherever you go. So that, and of course the actual space type environment is different on a ship entirely. You've got the spinning gravity part, but then when you're off of that, it's all weightless space. And physics changes completely. And how you move is not your Star Wars type moving. No, it's not like World War II. It's like Babylon 5. Anybody not familiar with how space actually works as far as ships should watch Babylon 5 and particularly pay attention to the Earth ships. Those were fairly close to reality. Okay? The second problem is the GURPS rules. They're wonderful. However, for the players who demand the detail in the rules so that they don't die because of some oversight on my part, I have been in the past expected to know not only the campaign worlds and the rules there, and the enemies and the obstacles and all that, but also I've been expected to know the characters that the players are playing. I can't do that. I've tried. It burns me out. So, to all the players who are saying, yeah, Logan's going to run something, this is your first warning. Whatever you play, you must know the rules of everything your character can do, all the equipment it has. Should you gain new equipment, understand it. Okay? Some way, shape, or form, some way will provide the rules to you. But you must know it, whether you can copy it down on a PDF or memorize it. I cannot know everything that I have to know and everything that you should know. Okay? Given the example, like I said in the last one, if you are playing the psionic, you should know what your telepath can do, what each power can do, what the ranges are, what it is if you have different types of equipment to help you, because yes, there is psionic equipment that can help you. You should know what a Gestalt web is. You should know how far your telekinesis can go. And you should know the resistances, what is resisted, what isn't resisted, how it can be resisted. Like if you have pyrokinesis or cryokinesis, how much you can raise or lower a temperature, how fast. You need to know that, because I can't know it all. Okay? The uplifted dolphin pilot. You should know generally how GURP space flight and atmospheric flight goes. You should also know a little bit, if not a lot, if you can, about how space physics is, how fast they go. I mean, it's very important to note that even if you have a very low exhaust thrust, given time, you're going to go so fast that hitting an atmosphere will burn you up if you have a ship that is not designed for that. Okay? Basic astrophysics is going to be important for the pilot to know this. And the GURPS rules on how things go. The vehicles book should do it for you. Again, 3rd edition. Okay? The computer, now that's where it gets complicated. I need whoever's playing the computer to know robotics, because you're a robot, relatively speaking. The computer is designed to remote control robots for space mining, asteroid mining, okay? Of course, being sentient, you'll be able to increase your knowledge, but you need to know robot piloting, what a computer can learn, what it can do. You need to have a good idea of your complexity, how many gigabytes, the things that you should know, robots, vehicles, those kind of things you would probably want to know. Plus, remember that you're going to have a lot of sciences like prospecting, geology, plate tectonics, including things like astrophysics and things like that. You should probably know at least a little bit about those things. Excuse me. Because again, the robot is generally the know-it-all, or the one that can eventually know it all and call it up perfectly. The cyborg warrior will need to basically learn everything that it can do, and to give a description, I called it the Goliath. For those who understand to StarCraft, it's basically the big chicken. Reverse joint legs. It's going to have a razor gun on one side for lightly armored target, a large anti-tank gun on the other side, and just off to the left to make it balanced, 5 small, like I think 40 millimeter nuclear missiles. About 12 dice times 200,000. Yeah, I want that player to know the radius of effect in atmosphere and in space, because that character also has thrust capabilities and therefore can move in space and atmosphere for a while flying. Very important, because I don't want the player to be an idiot and blast point blank or even 100 yards a nuclear missile. There goes the campaign. Okay? I shouldn't have to remind the player that's a bad idea. Okay? Know the capability of your weapons. Know the capability of everything that you're doing. Okay? And that generally describes the four characters that I absolutely need. And any player that plays these must know what they can do. And I'll provide the character sheet, and we can compromise, but those 4 players I need. Okay?